The first is familiar ako dun sa Alter Trade dahil we were able to visit recently at na-share yung ano paano nag-develop, yung principles, etc. Ang malinaw sa akin, Alter Trade changes the rules of the game. It's not profit-driven. It's a social economy. It's not, the market with state backing. So, ang basic rules, it's a mindful market, no? Ganon. So it changes the rules of the game. Now, ang question ko is, I'm not familiar at all with the other examples cited. Is this also the case? In which case, kasi medyo malaking tall order yung yung babaguhin mo yung rules. So yun yung ang tanong ko. Secondly is dun sa Coco Choir, alam natin na so many of the small coconut farmers are sell to the big yung cocoa oil and basically cartel yon. Sa Zamboanga, for example, it's the Chinese, no? So I don't know kung this is for later how this will inform yung projection about cocoa choir, etc. But the fact is talagang vice-like yung grip ng yung control sa cocoa oil owners.
Dun sa tanong na are we changing the rules? Yes. Kasi dun sa research on social enterprises, the reason why social enterprises develop and malamala sila, di ba? They're not just like other businesses, they're not just like NGOs, is because existing institutions are unable to assist the poor. So parang kung sasabihin natin na kung ito change natin yung rules ng game, mahirap yun. Mahirap talaga. But unless we change the rules of the game, there's no way that we can alleviate or even, there's no way that we can solve poverty. Because the rules of the game have to change in favor of the poor. And that's why dun sa social entrepreneurship, actually to your question, direct question, is it always changing the rules of the game? Yes, it's always changing the rules of the game. I'll give you a specific example. Yung Upland Marketing Foundation Incorporated, I don't know if you're familiar with them. I also studied them. The reason why they are not yet sustainable until now, and they say this publicly naman is because they engage supermarkets and they engage them uncritically. So pasok lang sila sa supermarket at pasok lang sila dun sa rules ng supermarket. Okay? And because pasok sila sa rules ng supermarket, nung nag-ondoy, ang rule ng mga supermarkets ay consignment. Alam mo? Dahil consignment, nagbayad nung losses ay yung poor and UMFI. So parang should that remain? I think it should change. So parang ethical market practices are also being pushed. But at the same time, I'm personally an advocate of yung what we call a plural economy. No? Na ang plural economy may market pero ethical, pero meron ding social economy at meron ding solidarity economy. And social enterprise, parang fair trade organizations are part of the social and solidarity economy. Cooperatives are part of the social economy. So not all social enterprises are working with markets. Some of them are working in the economy using different principles other than the mainstream market. They have markets, but it's solidarity markets, for example. And what we're advocating is a combination. It's not just one, but a plural economy where may ethical markets tayo, pero meron din tayong social economy at meron din tayong solidarity economy. So yun yung...
How about the second insight on the cartel on the coconut oil?
Ganito, yung cocoa oil kasi, precisely, no, pag nag-usap ka ng cocoa industry, ang main na pinag-uusapan ng gobyerno dyan ay oil. Kaya nga sinasabi natin, let's focus on economic subsectors linked to the coconut, where there are potentials for growth and where the poor can actually can actually be players and overcome poverty. And yung cocoa coir subsector is just one example. No? Na hindi mo we are not saying na hindi na dapat sila mag-COPRA. We're saying that in addition to doing COPRA, let's develop the cocoa coir subsector so that they could overcome poverty in relation to their combination of economic activities they do.
Yung cocoa coir subsector is not structured similarly as the cocoa oil mills. At yung Pilipinas Ecofiber is a wholly owned subsidiary of FSSI. But it didn't start as a social enterprise. It started as a wise old man's business, negosyo. So it's in the process of turning itself into that kind of a social enterprise. But there is a problem of aggregation. There is always a challenge of being fair. We compete in the global markets also. So what you try to do, and which I think is what happened with Alter Trade, is you look for partners who understand where you're coming from and who support what you're trying to do. And thankfully, there are partners. And what I'm also finding is that there are Filipinos overseas who are also beginning to see the importance and the value of this. So medyo ano. Pero yung tingin ko problema sa coconuts in the Philippines is we don't use our coconuts in more ways than one.
Isa po sa narinig po namin, narinig ko yung mga explanations ni Congressman Tanyada with regards to social enterprise at yung explanation nga po ni Ma'am Lisa tungkol dito po sa makakapag ano po ito puno sa poverty reduction natin. In the case po dito sa pakiramdam ko po, ito rin po ay makakapuno sa gap ng Magna Carta ng Persons with Disability, yung Republic Act 7277. May nakasaad po doon na 10% of the general appropriation of lahat ng mga government agencies ay dapat po ibigay sa mga taong may kapansanan. So kahit na po sana hindi kami mag-join sa bidding, kung talagang i-implement po ito ng mga government agencies, hindi na po kami mahihirapan mag-join sa mga bidding. Kasi yung mga nagbibidding, mga kapitalista po, kami po hindi eh. At isa pa po, nandito na rin daw po yung mga government agencies. May nakasaad po din sa Magna Carta na at least 5% of their workforce ay dapat mga taong may kapansanan. So yun din po ang appeal namin na kung kayo po ang magpapatupad nito dahil ang batas na po ito ay para sa lahat at yung government agencies mismo ang mag-implement, ang mga taong may kapansanan po ay mabibigyan ng opportunity. Kaya po yun din ang pakiusap namin na talagang kung ito po ay maipapatupad, malaki pong mabibigyan ng pag-asa yung mga taong may kapansanan. At magkakaroon naman po kami ng dignity. At ibibigay ko lang po example. Dati po, nag-i-encode po kami sa isang agency. Pero nung sinabi nila na mag-in-house na lang sila, nawala po yung encoding job sa tahanang walang hagdanan. Okay lang po sana yun sa amin, provided yung magtatrabaho po sana doon ng mga encoders ay mga taong may kapansanan. So yun po ang hiling namin sa mga nandito na sana po talaga ay maipatupad po itong bill na ito. Salamat po.